How does he feel about that?
Well, I don't know. He kind of doesn't, a little piece of him doesn't believe me all the way. But he might still want to have a tiny little cord to me, but he's willing to go and really do other things. But I think, no.
Do you want him to have that cord?
Well, I don't think we can do a great experiment if we have the cord.
Yeah. So you have to take command of what you want.
Oh.
You get to choose what you want.
No, that is part of the complex, I think.
Yeah.
Choosing what I want and being loving is very interesting.
Again, you don't have to have a negative feeling about it. It's just your choice, and hopelessness should understand that. And if he doesn't, then you know you want to get him farther away.
I think I'll get him a little farther away. Yeah.
Do you want the cord cut?
It's funny, this week I came to a realization that I need to start a cord cutting practice. And just last night was the first time I did it, so I do want to experiment with cutting the cord. I do want to cut it. And he can snap back his energy back into him, and I can snap back the energy back into me. That's what I learned last night.
Mm-hmm. That will work. So are you going to be the one making the cut?
Oh, yeah. I did it.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, and how does that feel?
Well,
how does that feel right now?
It feels a little colder than how I feel inside to cut something.
Colder?
Yeah, it doesn't. I think it's a boundary issue, but it feels cold to make the boundary for me a little bit. That's the first feeling that I had. That's odd. I'm glad I saw that, felt that. But also, I see the spaciousness. And the much more space on the left side of my body. And upward, too.
So that space can have room for you to create new things?
Yeah, I think so.
See your life in a different way?
Yeah. And not be so ruled by a really small perception or in my head or something, too.
It would be moving out of that beta mind all the time and moving into a different brain frequency as well, more right brain, or more opportunities can come in for you.
Yes.
If you can see that possibility for you.
Yeah.
Her rhythm is still off. She's still in process, but she's done a great job. And we're just going to keep going at this. So did hopelessness have any friends that he left behind, or is he just pretty much a solo player?
Oh. Okay. He said he's a solo player, but he says I let so many in that he has a play. He can come here and play, or something like that.
Do you want him to do that?
Oh no, we already made an agreement. Like, he already been cut.
Okay.
He was just telling me that I had other
Oh, I see. Okay.
I had like helpless was here, so he had like a place to go, like a playground, you know.
Oh, okay. Helpless and hopeless.
Because I allowed them to come in, so he had a harbor at one time.
Okay, well, that's good that you have both of them gone. So now that you have hopeless and helpless and all their little buddies cut from your influence, are you going to be able to hold into the higher conscious state and see your life more as a creative manifestation? And that you have that within you to do that and exercise that? Or is there something else that you need to stay strong to hold back that different mask wearing that hopeless will do? They usually put masks on and change costumes. Because they're little entities. Yeah, because they're really kind of entities. They like to pester. They're like roaches in the corner.
I like roaches, actually. But I do feel like I need to cut a cord with helpless a little.
Okay.
He's off to the right side, and I just need to cut him. And I can do that.
Yeah.
To do the exercises to keep me strong and build.
So the way you do that is when you feel that they're coming in again, or you intuitively sense that, you have to remind them that the cord is cut.
Okay.
You can't sew it back. I'm not going to sew it back. I'm not going to let you jump it.
Okay.
And then pretty soon it won't try. It'll be weaker and weaker and weaker because you'll be stronger and stronger and stronger. And once you don't operate so much from the left brain, it gets very easy because then you'll be able to stay more in the present and manifest and see a whole entirely different world shape up. One that really is truly full of kindness because other people on the planet who are also getting rid of these little entities within will help to change the energy in the world around us. And so that would be the idea that you want to think on if they come back in and try to sneak in and tell you that you're anything less than the real Angie or the vibration that you're moving into for you, which is a very powerful woman. So is there anything else that you're seeing that needs to be?
It feels like that cord where the cord was on the left side up here it's almost like a scar, and it just feels like I need to kind of break up the scar tissue or something. So it seems like it's like an old highway that's been used so many times.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like that. I felt like 3 or 4 pulsings at the bottom of my scapula, and it felt like it was part of cutting the scar. Feels like that's where it attached. All I'm just saying is it feels like maybe something. Maybe if I feel something in that side of my body, maybe that's a way I could know that attachment's trying to come into.
Yeah, because if it's now going into reflecting and that kind of the reference kind of thing is the shoulder oftentimes is significant in that you're burdening something that you don't need to burden. And so that in itself, we don't know, we know what it is because of this, that it's probably the helplessness, but you don't want to carry that on your shoulder. So that would be a good indicator to start with and see if that's how it works.
Yeah.
Let's check the rhythm. And her rhythm is back and it's stronger. It's very strong. It's still processing a little bit, but the rhythm is on, so she's not so much in that process of learning or figuring out what's happening there and having those deep, somewhat painful realizations about that inner part of us. So usually after a session, I like to have people just rest for a little while and kind of come back into themselves, because it's a lot of work to do that. And I don't know if you could see, but I was very aware of how, as she began to process and see these things that we talked about, how her face began to glow with a lot more shine. It's kind of like looking like she's growing into being a young person, like something more heavenly in a way, I guess you could say. But people do change when they lift that load off of them, especially when it's deep and cellular like it was. So with that, I hope you got a little sense of how this work works. It's real nice work, and thank you so much for viewing, and I will see you next time.
So other body sensations that I had is when I was deeper in the process of dialoguing, I noticed she was over here on this side of my body kind of a lot. And I would like to ask her later what was going on there. But through my life, at times in my life, right in here has been, I remember getting balls and ropes and things to just grind that area. It's just like something was just digging in there. And when we were doing this emotional work, that's actually where I felt the cord of the hopelessness come in. And it feels like a scar tissue up to this point, but it's at the bottom of my scapula. It's more loose. It was a feeling, and it pounded like 3 or 4 times. This still feels scarred, but I don't know what she was doing, but I just know she was over here a lot, and that's an area where I've battled with in my physical body through the years, especially when I was working as a therapist. When I did have those moments with hopelessness and a little bit of the aha moments, it was a little more ethereal than in my body, but I felt this part of my body had much more light to it. Like you open the curtains in the morning, it felt like that. There was space, and actually to have Athena asked me some really key questions. Her skill level was very helpful for me because I was in a bit of a state of innocence, and to have her ask me some key questions around hopelessness or helplessness was very helpful for me, and to be able to contain or maintain that new feeling of light on this side of my body. I think when she said something about a future or new plans or new things can generate in that area, she kind of helped me hold that to see what it would be like in that new curtain open part of my sensory system.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for subscribing. And I think there's a little bell up there that you can hit that you'll get a notification every time we post. So if you want to, you can hit that too. But thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it.